Coming up on Cruise In, presented by RK Motors Charlotte. If you like this customized green Studebaker from last year on Cruise In,
oh, you can hear a few critics, you know.
You may like it even more this year, but it's not green anymore.
Got caught in a tornado and it hydroplaned and I wrecked it up against the wall.
If Lincoln had made a Zephyr pickup truck back in 1939,
this is what we think it should look like.
And would you believe?
The car's got 280,000 miles on it.
Plus,
it's time to take a little bit of care and do some fitting.
We're attaching body parts in the restoration of the last Hemi. So here comes Cruise In.
And you know, it's got all air and all the good stuff.
It's presented by RK Motors Charlotte, and it starts right now. Hi everybody, welcome to Cruise In, presented by RK Motors Charlotte. I'm Jeff Phelps and we are at a great event. It is the 15th Good Guys Nationals held at the Ohio State Fairgrounds in Columbus, Ohio. Now, two things come to mind whenever I hear Good Guys event. Number one, variety. Number two, creativity. David, I've heard of a Tucker Torpedo. In all honesty, I've never heard of a Pontiac Torpedo, but they've been around a long time. This is a 48?
This is a 48, but the name Torpedo has been around since 42.
And Pontiac used it?
Pontiac had it, and I'm sure they owned it for at least until Tucker stole it.
And since Tucker only made 51 cars, they probably didn't care.
It didn't matter.
This is really nice.
Thank you.
Where did you find it? How long have you had it?
It was built in Wilmington, Delaware, and it lived its life in Wilmington, Delaware, although it was sold in Maryland to the guy in Wilmington, Delaware. But 20 years ago, I found it altogether, just a stock car, a straight 8, stick, got in Delaware.
Unfinished? It was
just
original
an
condition?
old car, 90,000 mile original car. And then it took us 3 years to build it. And now, of course, it has a 400 Pontiac motor in it with 400 horsepower, a 400 turbo hydromatic that's got 330,000 miles on the transmission. The car's got 280,000 miles on it.
280,000 miles on this car?
On this car.
And you bought it with 90?
I bought it with, no, the 90 was the original miles. I'm counting from zero.
From zero?
I zeroed it back, all brand new components.
So in 20 years, you've driven this car 280,000 miles.
280,000 real miles.
David, you would never guess that.
Well, that's because it's been done 2 or 3 times during that time. I've had it 20 years. So, we've had 3 motors in it, same transmission. The air conditioner from Vintage Air has been in it since day one. 280,000 miles, works perfect, blows out 36 degrees. So I have a new interior in it. That's the second interior. But the body is 280 plus 90, 370,000 miles on the body.
Never, ever would have guessed that.
Yeah.
What features do you like on this car, David?
The long wheelbase makes it a real good road car. It's the same wheelbase as a 77 Grand Prix. So it's long, it's about 119 or 20 inches. It gives you a nice ride. Like a 32 Ford will give you a choppy ride. It's a small wheelbase and everything bounces. Right. This thing is like driving a regular car. It's got air conditioning, tilt, power steering, power brakes, a real good motor in it, good rear. It'll go anywhere your regular car will go. A 2013, it'll go anywhere. And it has been everywhere.
People have seen hot rods with flames before. I've never seen a hot rod with flames that start with the Pontiac emblem.
Well,
beautiful.
I wanted one panel of flames, but I didn't want to copy everybody else's idea. I wanted my own. And everybody wants to make their car their own. So I had my guy shoot the logo from here, okay, the marquee, shot that, digitized it, put it on the car, and then painted flames from it. So there's only one like this. There's not 2.
And how long ago was that done?
That was done 8 years ago.
That's a great look.
Yeah, well, I really like it. It sets the car off. But the car is black and hot as blazes. Until you turn the air on.
Yeah, you've got that good air, David.
It's great air, great air.
So what do you do with it now? Do you have any plans for the future? I can't imagine a car that you've driven 280,000 miles. You already have the great flames on it. Everything else is great. I can't imagine there's too much more you want to do with it, is there?
I'm getting close to 71 years old. I'm 70 now. I'll be 71 in another 6 months. This was my last go-round, I hope. This is the 3rd motor. It's just been in it a year. So the last motor had 160,000 miles on it when I took it out. Wasn't anything wrong with it, I was just tired of it. This one ought to last till I'm done. I hope. If not, I'll put another one in it.
Yeah, but you know what? I get the impression, with the care you've taken of this car, you might be done long before the car is.
Well, I hope that's true. I hope
personal.
Hope somebody will want it after me.
Phil, it's not only a Torino. I love Torinos. It's a Torino convertible. Congratulations. I'm envious because Torino convertibles are fun and somewhat rare.
It's what I found out along the way. That's kind of why I picked it up when I did 18 years ago, because there weren't that many of them around. You just don't see them.
18 years?
18 years.
Where'd you find it?
Carlisle, Pennsylvania, fall.
Official pace car. Did you know that when you bought it?
No, I didn't.
How'd you stumble into that?
I was trying to actually get it insured, and the insurance company actually told me they couldn't insure it because it had the wrong stripes, and I wanted to insure it for what it was. And then I did a little research. I got hooked up with the Fairlane Torino Club of America. They gave me some ideas what to look at, and then I found out, confirmed it was, in fact, an Indy pace car replica, verified by the district sales order number on the door. They were 709 total that they made. One paced at the Indy 500 in '68 and was awarded to the winner, and the rest of them were either used as festival cars or a dealer promotion like you saw here.
So when you got it, it had nothing on it decal-wise?
No, it didn't.
Just straight?
Just the C stripe on the side. And this is a work in progress on the way, and I'm trying to make it look more like what it was.
Well, 18 years, get your act together, Phil, come on.
It takes time.
I know it takes time,
Yes,
that's for sure. What is it that attracted you to the Ford Torino in the first place? I personally, always been one of my favorite cars.
Well, I'm a Ford guy to begin with. Everything I own is Ford. It was just a neat car, and it was there at the time when I got it. You're just looking for something different. It's been rough finding parts for it. It's a little bit on the rough side. Some of the trim was 1 year only on it though, and that's what's made it a little rough to find some of the stuff. All the trim on here is most of the trim I've replaced just because it got old and ugly.
5,000 Torino convertibles made roughly in '68, 709 pace cars. How many convertibles have you seen from '68, and how many other official pace car replicas have you seen?
I've seen probably five pace car replicas on through the internet.
But never in person?
One time.
Well, Bobby Unser won the race, right?
Yes, he did.
So you and Bobby Unser have the same car?
Bobby's got the one with the big motor.
Yeah, but you've got the one that we like.
The one I can jump in anyway.
Imagine being a car designer and hearing this.
We told him we wanted to put a Lincoln Zephyr front end on a pickup truck.
The end result is next on Cruise In, presented by RK Motors Charlotte.
Handling classic and high-performance vehicles requires an industry-leading team of experts. Welcome to RK Motors Charlotte. Industry-leading means meticulous attention to detail when servicing every vehicle. It means a consignment service so fine-tuned that a successful sale at maximum value is all but guaranteed. And a rigorous inspection on every vehicle before its tires even touch our sales floor. It's all this and more that make RK Motors Charlotte the industry leader. Visit rkmotorscharlotte.com.
Now back to Cruise In, presented by RK Motors Charlotte. Russ, I walked past, I looked, and I thought, you know, that has a little similarity to that green Studebaker we saw with that guy from Illinois last year here at this show.
I built the car about 4 years ago. It was black and it had a hard top on it. Got bored with it about 2 years ago, and I cut a roof off of it and changed colors and redesigned it again.
Then I look under the tent and I see you.
Yeah.
And I came over and I said hello, and you said it's completely redone. You redid your car.
The whole thing again.
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 This is time number 3?
At least.
Last year it was green, it was
Viper
open.
green.
What are you doing?
Well, I ended up going to a storm, going to all the shows, showing it around. got caught in a tornado and it hydroplaned, and I wrecked it up against the wall in Joliet Car Show, Good Guys.
You got
In
caught
Illinois.
in a tornado,
Yeah.
hydroplaned, and wrecked it.
Well, they announced a tornado. The water's coming down the tunnel you go out of. It's so light, it just slid over and hit the wall at the speed I was going and trashed it out. By my insurance, it was total. It slid over, smacked the wall. The straight axle busted right there. It wasn't as nice as this one. It wasn't chrome at the time. It knocked the tire clear off, throwed it through the hood, bent the hood in half, busted the windshield, went clean up, smashed that header totally flat, bent a few brackets, bent that rim I had to replace. The other header got scuffed up, scraping down the wall. Basically anything on suspension's all new again because it just demolished it. Then I had to do the whole car back through the bottom again, lift it off the frame, make sure everything's right, and build it back. And I mean, you're talking glutton punishment. Then it never even had that roof on it. I painted it black just to make sure everybody knows it's straight or everybody likes it. Then I custom made that whole roof line different just to have a little rain shelter because I got caught in the rain the first time.
So with the tire and everything else coming up and through, we're pretty fortunate to be talking to you.
Oh, exactly. I was black and blue all down one side. Fully insured and everything. I told them just pick it up with a forklift, throw it on a trailer, and get it out everybody's way.
But here it sits.
I kept it.
Here it sits.
And then I told them, I'll fix it. Don't worry about it. They paid me. Everything's cool. I just did even more than ever.
I remember last year you telling us, yeah, I'll probably redo it again.
Well, I didn't plan on it that quick.
When you did plan on it though, is this kind of what you had in mind?
Well, I always had a little everything in mind. Yeah, I wanted to make the Starliner coupe look in the Studebaker, the fancier model. Being it was wrecked, I just went for it and started doing twice as much. And then I put everything underneath it, chrome everything on it. Redid the windows, construction, everything on it.
Because when it was green, it was open.
Oh yeah, it was open, never had a top whatsoever. And then I made the top out of nothing, just kept fabricating and making and getting it to work.
Russ, you're pretty clever.
Well, I've been at it a little bit.
So if I remember correctly, it went from being your father's old Studebaker
Yeah.
to being the green, open Studebaker,
Right.
looking real fancy, and now this.
Yeah. It was also black before it was green.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And it got Good Guys Award in Indy at Dare to Be Different. I won it there before.
Well, Russ, you dare to be different.
Heck,
Next
it might
year.
be a Woody wagon yet.
You
Yeah.
think?
I don't know. Might. Or I'll just start another one and have 2 or 3 of them.
I wouldn't put it past you.
Well, you got to be creative.
I just can't wait to see what it is next year.
Well, maybe third time's charm.
Terry, I know in recent years, Lincoln actually did make a pickup truck.
Yes.
If memory serves me right, and a little history, Lincoln didn't make a pickup truck in 1939.
No, they didn't.
So what do you have here?
It's a Phantom 1939 Lincoln Zephyr pickup truck.
So if Lincoln were to make a pickup truck in 1939 and be fancy about it,
This is what we think it should look like. It's our Phantom 39, we call it.
so tell me,
It's like a prototype.
how do you start building something that obviously comes out of your mind, but there are obviously car parts that we recognize in this thing?
I had a guy that was very artistically talented. His name's Jason Russforth, and he drawed it up for me, and then me and a friend of mine built it. And that's pretty much what it was. We told him we wanted to put a Lincoln Zephyr front end on a pickup truck, and then he drawed it up for us, and then we executed and built it.
That is a Lincoln Zephyr front end.
Yes.
At one point it was a Lincoln
Yes,
Zephyr.
a Lincoln Zephyr car front end, and we took the fenders and we cut them long ways and took 3 inches out of each fender and pancaked it and made it 6 inches narrower so it would fit on the truck cab.
How about the interior, the cab area?
It's got a 1940 Ford car dashboard, and the center console is all custom made. Me and a friend, we made all that from scratch.
Top of the car?
It's been chopped about 4.5 inches, and the whole bed's custom made. The back fenders are stock 47 Ford truck fenders, and we stressed them out, made them 18 inches longer. And then we put this line on it like the Lincoln Zephyr fenders has got, and we put them on the back side of the back fenders so they match the front fenders. Almost everything was custom, like we built all the grill from scratch. And these headlights are 39 Ford car headlights, And we chose them because they have this line in them like the fenders has got.
It does, yeah.
And then the back bumper and stuff, it's all custom made. We just dreamed it all up and built it. We took 37 Ford taillight buckets, and we built the rest of it out of steel, and then we sent away and got chrome plated.
So what inspired you to do this? I mean, what made you think Lincoln Zephyr pickup truck? Yeah, it'll work.
Well, I've always really liked Lincoln cars, and I've had several of them over the years, and I just thought it'd really be neat to make a Lincoln pickup truck, just something different, you know. And we even built the steering wheel for it, and we tried to make everything we could on it, you know, to try to make it unique. You know,
exactly like what Lincoln might have done if they were building a pickup truck with today's technology based on a 39 Zephyr.
Yep, pretty much, yep.
That's creativity, Terry.
Thank you. Thank you.
How long did it take?
Just exactly 3 years. It took 2 of us 3 years to build it.
What's under the hood?
It's got a Lincoln motor in it. It's a 4.6 double overhead cam, 32 valve. It's a motor like it's in a Lincoln Mark 8 in the mid-90s.
And it's been like this how long now, Terry?
3 years. It's been built for 3 years.
So it took 3 years and it's been done 3 years.
Yeah, yeah. I got almost 5,000 miles on it. You know, I've never had a bit of trouble with it. It's really been a good built car. And it actually gets really good gas mileage too. If I get on the interstate running, I get 24, 25 miles a gallon.
No kidding.
Yep.
Time to learn a trick of the trade.
I have flex, I have room to move.
The restoration of the last Hemi is next on Cruise In, presented by RK Motors Charlotte.
Sally, Tina, Betsy, you've developed quite a bond with your classic car. Let the consignment professionals at RK Motors Charlotte make the selling process as painless as possible. Through precision marketing and large customer base, we all but guarantee a sale at maximum value, and we don't get paid until your car sells. We've sold over 1,500 classic cars here at RK Motors Charlotte, and now we'd like to get to know Betsy, at least for a little while. Visit rkmotorscharlotte.com.
From start to finish, it's the restoration of the last Hemi.
So we've got our quarter panel fit, and all the repairs have been done to it, as we've seen in the past, and now all the underlying repairs have been done also. All the OEM metal that we have found has been installed. All the little custom patchworks that we needed to do to fix minor little rust repairs have all been done with the correct gauge metal that's factory used, and all been butt welded, ground out, front side, back side, so no repairs are evident. Now everything's clamped in place, and now here's where things start going. Before you take and do the final welding, it's time to take a little bit of care and do some fitting. Now I will end up maybe putting a couple little tack welds in place, and I will actually fit the wheel well trim to make sure that there's no way that the quarter is bowed out in any way, shape, or form in different areas. Now, the nice thing that I did see is a lot of my trim holes for that line up from the two different panels, so I know everything's pretty well set where it is. And being that it's all OEM metal, it fell so nicely into place that I don't really think I have to worry too much about that. But I'm still going to take that extra added time because that's where it all comes in. I'm going to fit the factory door on, line it up to the rocker, get everything fit, and here you can see I have flex, I have room to move, so I can match that quarter panel perfectly to the contour of the door. So when I do my final welds and polish everything out, there will be absolutely no need for overfilling everything. You know, guys, if you don't take that time, and this is in a quarter of an inch here, but it's flush here and it's flush here, just because you didn't take the time to actually fit a quarter panel, then what happens is you've got a ½ an inch of extra filler that's unnecessary. For the gaps in the trunk, if you look here, you'll see that everything can move just ever so slightly. Now, once I unclamp all this, I can move it in, out to make sure that when I have that trunk lid installed, evenly up the whole trunk gap will be dead on, probably better than factory. You know, they had machines doing this, robots, something could have slipped. If you've seen cars from the factory back in the day, a lot of the gaps were terrible. Well, we're gonna make everything as tight and perfect as we can without making it too tight where you've got paint chips. So that's where we're going with this, and right now we're kind of in the clamp stage, and hopefully next time you see it here, we'll have it all welded up and we'll be working on bigger and better things.
For more on the restoration of the last Hemi, visit our website at thelasthemi.com.
When it comes to restoring or servicing your classic or high-performance car, expertise is the name of the game. And that's precisely what you'll find at RK Motors. You'll find our expertise in the attention to detail that can only be acquired through years of working on world-class builds. You'll also find our expertise in the RKM Performance Center, where we've assembled a team of highly qualified ASE-certified mechanics. When expertise is the name of the game, trust the experts at RK Motors. Visit rkmotorscharlotte.com.
Now back to the Good Guys Nationals on Cruise In, presented by RK Motors Charlotte. Gary, on the windshield it says a 1940 Chevrolet Beater. I'm pretty familiar with Chevrolets. I don't recall a Beater model that Chevrolet made.
Well, I didn't want a car that was too high maintenance or whatever, so I built it as a beater, low maintenance. You know, you can drive it anywhere. If you scratch it, you don't worry about it.
It's actually a Master Deluxe, correct?
Master Deluxe, yeah.
It's a nice job.
And
I like it, and I like the concept behind it because you enjoy the old car without worrying about it too much.
Exactly.
Where are you from?
I'm from Chatham, Ontario, Canada.
And you came to this show with how many buddies?
4 guys.
All loaded up in this car?
Yes.
That had to be a long ride, Gary.
Yeah, well, it was a fun ride.
Any problems getting the car here?
No, it's a reliable car. We put a lot of miles on it. It's home built.
Now, when did you get it? How did you start it? When did you start it?
I had a Model A coupe that I bought in 1958 and drove for many years. And I sold it to finance another car, but I went a year without a street rod, so I bought this to build as a beater. And I was going to do a quick job on it, but I spent a couple of years. It's all painted underneath, and everything's new, and it's reliable, and it's a fun car.
Gary, it's been finished for how long?
15 years.
And how about the mileage?
I've got about 60,000 miles on it. I go to a lot of car shows in the States and have a lot of American friends that we meet every year.
Now, you built it to be a beater. Was that tough to do? Was it tough to resist the temptation to maybe do more with it and throw more money at it and do more things?
No, not at all, because my last car was a show car status, and it had a lot of chrome and shiny paint, and it was too much maintenance, and I'm getting old, and I just want to take it easy in the rest of my days.
Well, you might think it's a beater. I still like it, and I still think it's a lot of fun.
Thank you very much.
And the boys love riding in it.
Oh, it rides really well. It's reliable, and you know, it's got all air and all the good stuff, so we have fun with it. That's the main thing. We don't go to a car show where we don't have fun and meet nice people.
Well, thanks for coming to the States and sharing it with us.
Well, thank you for having me on your show.
That'll do it from a great event, the Good Guys Nationals in Columbus, Ohio. I'm Jeff Phelps. We'll see you next time on Cruise In, presented by RK Motors Charlotte.